Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Superman and Lois Season 3, and this is going to be my trailer breakdown for Episode 6 for this season, otherwise entitled Of Sound Mind. But yeah, before we get into anything else, let's actually watch the trailer.
Every time I finish one of your lessons, you just add another, and I'm sick of it!
This is the real world. It takes one mistake to lose everything.
I feel really powerless.
Even Superman has his limits. You need to help him.
Dad said I wasn't ready.
Go save your father.
So last episode was a bit of a tamer episode. Some would say a filler. I don't know if it was filler because it still had some main storyline stuff going on in it. It was just a bit more toned down than the previous four, which I think is a good thing. Let's just take a breath. Just an easy episode to watch, all of that. But we had Lois sort of snooping around Bruno Mannheim's medical clinic where she's now getting her chemotherapy treatment. You know, obviously, that's a plan. But we also see there's a new powered person working for Bruno Mannheim that does raid the DOD, and despite Superman halting them, if you want to put it, they still transfer precious information which allows access to Bizarro's corpse for Bruno Mannheim. And of course, the big question is, what the hell is he going to do with it? Of course, that's for us to wait and see. But of course, before we get into the extra stuff in this video, which is mainly the main stuff of the video, aka the breakdown, we would normally go over the synopsis for this episode, but there's no synopsis, and there's a reason why. We'll discuss that in a second. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Various thoughts, expectations for this episode, any theories and predictions, let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, want to show your support, everything like that, drop a like on the video. It takes 2 seconds. So yeah, no synopsis. Why is that? Well, we're on break until April 25th. It seems most of the CW shows, from what I've seen, are on break until that week. Flash and Gotham Knights are at the very least are on break until that's the week that they come back. That's on like the DC side of things, of course, obviously. Now, I'm not sure if it's because of the NBA playoffs. They start this weekend and they obviously play into next week and weeks to come. And they tend to take up some of the CW affiliate channels, so that might be why. And I did have a few people messaging me over the past, 24, 48 hours around the time Superman and Lois is airing, that they couldn't actually watch the latest episode of Superman and Lois live due to baseball that was on. But baseball just started, I'm pretty sure. So I was surprised that took over a network, a time slot. So maybe there's just a lot of logjam stuff going on due to all the sports stuff that's going on. But in certain areas at the very least. So yeah, just keep in mind, even when the shows come back, maybe there's sport that might conflict. So look ahead into your TV guides to make sure that nothing's conflicting there. But to start off, from what we see in the trailer, we do have Jordan, or Superboy, getting frustrated with his dad due to it feeling like there isn't much progression with his training and just moving forward, from this point into the real world and doing stuff out there, actually fighting proper crime and everything like that. With us seeing Jordan in that hologram fighting simulator again that we saw introduced, I think it was in episode 2, I think it was brought in. Now, I'm not sure what classic Superman villain that Jordan will be fighting, because obviously when Clark sort of scrolled through, there was a couple of different villains there. It looks like it might be 2 people he's taking on, so I guess you should keep your eye out for an Easter egg or 2 when this scene pops up. One of them looks like a human. It might be Zod, it might be Taro, I don't know, but yeah, he's fighting, I think, 2 people there. But yeah, Clark is emphasizing that though Jordan might not feel like this is the real world, it is. He is still there. He's fighting these holograms with his real hands, his real feet, and using his real brain. So it's as real here as it's going to be out there. It's just that he most likely can't die in this situation. But it just takes one mistake out there in the outside world before you're gone. Your head's chopped off and a villain standing over your body chanting, "Look what I did, yay." So it's solid training, as it does look like Clark, or more importantly Superman, is going to be in the wars in this episode, and Jordan's probably going to help and not going to have to make any mistakes out there. He's going to have to be quite perfect to help Superman out there in whatever predicament that, Superman gets into. But speaking of Superman, we do see him getting into a fight here, a bit of a rumble in the jungle, and being thrown through various areas. Now, I'm not sure if it is against Bizarro, who we saw at the end of last episode. It most likely isn't. But in regards to Bizarro, as I said before, we did see his, lifeless, dead corpse of a body there. So I don't know if it's going to be reanimated by this point. Probably not. But we do see Onomatopoeia again after a couple of episodes away from the character. I think it was episode 3. The last time we saw the character. I don't think we saw them in episode 4, and obviously didn't see them in episode 5. Wait, did we see them in episode 4? Maybe towards the end? I can't remember. But yeah, with Onomatopoeia, we can see them facing off against Superman here. So it's easy to assume they are the one that's battling Superman throughout the rest of the trailer. Now in the background, we can see a truck that does say Eckworth. I think it says Industries. Now Eckworth was a character, and it's a reference to the Superboy TV series from the late 1980s. I don't know if there's going to be any sort of play on from this, where they made a character by the name of something. He has a name. It's something Eckworth, obviously. But yeah, that's the reference there. It's a character from that Superboy TV series. Don't think it ever translated over to the comics. I think it's just from that TV show. So yeah, just a bit of a reference and Easter egg there for those that were curious. But yeah, we do see Superman being attacked by Onomatopoeia, as well as some green, I guess most likely kryptonite-powered lasers, some laser beams. That looks like what's going on here. And then we do have Lois demanding that Jordan go out and help his father. But as we saw, as we saw early in the trailer, it's most likely that Clark has demanded that Jordan not go out in the field and isn't ready. And that's why Jordan's sort of standoffish and be like, hey, I don't know if this is the right time for me to do it. Also, there might be a bit of fear there for Jordan as well. Now, here's the big thing. Will this be the part where we get the debut of Jordan wearing that suit that his grandfather gave him at the end of episode 4? I think this might be it. We might get a bit of a superhero landing and a suit reveal. Obviously, there is the discussion of how exactly he's going to look. You know, it seems like it's a combination of like the American alien suit and even some other stuff, like even the there's another proto suit that Superman wore in another comic series. I can't remember what it is, but it seems like it's going to be a combination of a bunch of those different things. So I'm very curious to see what Jordan looks like when he wears it, because he got it at the end of episode 4, but he didn't get to put it on last episode. It's not even referenced last episode. So yeah, I'm very interested to see what he looks like. I'm sure a lot of people are as well. Now, at some point in the trailer, it's a bit like halfway through, I think it is, we do get Clark talking about being, quote, powerless. And I don't think this has anything to do with his like Superman side, like he's, I've been hit by kryptonite, I don't have my powers. I don't think he's literally powerless. It's more what Lois is going through. Like maybe Lois starts to feel more of the effects of the chemo treatment. That was a big thing last episode. We're seeing how those people that were deeper into the treatment were, feeling the effects of it, like just randomly falling asleep, lack of energy and everything like that. So yeah, maybe Lois is just starting to feel more of the effects of that treatment, which is making like some basic tasks difficult or something along those lines. So Clark feels guilty maybe going out as Superman or going out and doing other things while Lois is at home and maybe struggling a bit. So I think that's what Clark's probably talking about here, but that's just a guess. Now, the big thing, Bizarro, dead boy, I guess you could say. What the hell is going on there? Now, this is something that we're obviously going to have to wait a couple of episodes to see play out. And it's probably a good thing, but it's sort of triggering, I guess, to some people as well, that they gave us that cliffhanger and then they're gone for all these weeks in a row, like for 2 weeks roughly. But there is just a lot of questions in regards to what's going to happen there. Will he be like messed around with, played around with scientifically and become the big bad by the end of the season? Whether it's like a Bizarro Doomsday type creature. Of course, obviously that's a thing in the comics. We have like Bizarro sort of like Doomsday sort of thing going on there. So that potentially could happen in the season. I think that's probably an easy way to do it. I mean, this episode is going to be episode 6, so we're approaching the halfway point of the season. We're soon going to have Lex Luthor playing into this season as well. So who knows whether even like if Bruno Mannheim is making some developments here and then Lex Luthor maybe gets his hands on like Bizarro and everything like that, that might be what happens. It's a wait and see, but I think a lot of people are now curious as to where this is going to go. I don't think we're going to get a simple thing where they just reanimate Bizarro and just make him evil. I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to get something more developed than that. But then, of course, we know that Atom Man is still playing into this season as well when it comes towards the end of it. So I'm very interested. I'm very interested to see where they go. I'm not exactly sure where they're going. It's also very important to remember that Superman and Lois and Todd Hill, being the showrunner, do like to play around and mix with the lore a bit. So be faithful, but also be creative at the same time. We've seen that with the previous 2 main villains of Talro and then also Parasite or Ali Alston. So just keep that in mind. Don't expect a very faithful Doomsday in regards to looks, but one that's sort of faithful, but also played around with and a bit of fun added into it at the same time. Now, there's no promo images because there's no synopsis, so there's obviously not going to be any promo images. But the one thing I wanted to talk about for the end of the video is Mateo. So Mateo obviously just randomly showed up in Smallville at the end, in last episode and went to the Valentine's dance with Natalie and stuff like that. there is a theory out there that people think that he is the son of Bruno Mannheim, which isn't this like crazy in-depth or crazy like unique theory. People have been saying this since he sort of showed up in promo images and stuff like that. However, it seems like they might have misled us, the actors, when they revealed this casting on social media, because they pretty much said it was the son of Dr. Irons, and I don't know, it doesn't seem like, you know, Dr. Irons is the wife of Bruno Mannheim, because Bruno Mannheim was going to blow her up in episode 4, so it doesn't seem like that's the case. But I don't think it's going to be that surprising now if this is the son of Bruno Mannheim. Mateo is the son of him, like Mateo Mannheim. It seems like that won't be too surprising now, because he just showed up very conveniently, almost as if he's like just, you know, scoping out Smallville a bit, doing some work for his dad. You know, he's rich as well. He could just, well, not rich, but like at least well off. He could just go buy a suit, you know, easy. Just like, I'll go buy a suit for this one night. Like, what? Who does that? Like, even someone that's like decently well off probably wouldn't do that, even if it was for a girl. So it's interesting. I'm very curious to see what happens here. But that's a wait and see. He's either probably going to be either the son of Dr. Irons or the son of Bruno Mannheim. And I think if it's the son of Dr. Irons, I think they probably cross the line. It's gotten a bit too romantic, because then they technically would be like doppelganger cousins or something, or multiversal cousins, whichever way you want to put it. So it's probably just safe to not make it Dr. Irons' son. So yeah, it's probably going to be Bruno Mannheim's son, but I guess the big question is, how far does it go? And would he really be like just easily working with his dad like that? I don't know, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. But that's a theory that's pretty much most people seem to be stuck on now, that he is Mateo Mannheim. But let's wait and see how it plays out in the episodes to come. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts on this trailer, what you're looking forward to most in the episode, any theories and predictions you do have. Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.